Long enough to cover the subject and short enough to keep it interesting. Welcome to Outta My League. I'm Nick Diaz. I feel so lucky sometimes because I get to plan out what I'm going to say or ask before each episode. Not that it really matters because, I'm just so damn popular. But guys like Ed Orgeron, they have no sense of how things will be perceived in the media. Just no media instincts whatsoever. From taking selfies with blonde bombshells in the bed or on the pool, going on Fox News, to shitting on Nick Brosette.
Nick Brosette's a good running back.
And yesterday, admitting this at a press conference.
First of all, I think we did a great job at hiring the coaches and doing a great job of interviewing them. I hired some coaches I didn't even interview from the last staff, and I'm never doing that again.
But you know what? I envy Coach O. In a world where every single person is constantly worried about offending people and obsessed with Instagram and Twitter followers and, gee, what color t-shirt should I wear in public because it could give off some subtle political message that sends journalists writing op-ed pieces that makes it on the morning news or some shit. Coach O, on the mean hand, is living in his own world. Look, I constantly worry about how much I should curse on this podcast, and I only have 523 people subscribe to it. Or should I make a joke on Twitter when someone gets reported? It's by saying, oh, gee, did you only say that there were two genders? And then being worried about if I'll get reported by Twitter by making fun of that. But Coach O's a national championship winning coach. And he just admitted, he just fucking admitted that he didn't interview past coaching staff. Okay, look. I've talked about this before on a previous episode where I questioned Ed Orgeron's maturity. And then it was a very serious and somber episode. And then the episode after that, they beat Florida. And I was like, hey, at least he has the humility to admit he's wrong and when he makes mistakes. But good Lord, there's honesty to a fault. This is like, you know what this is? This is like going to your high school reunion with your wife or your fiance or a long-term girlfriend. And then when you go to your high school reunion, you see a girl that you dated from high school that's there, and you introduce her to people. And then afterwards, your wife or your fiance is like, well, who was that? And he's like, oh, that's just a girl that I went on a few dates with in high school. Because that's what a normal person does. But Ed Orgeron, here's what he would do. Oh, yeah, she gave me a hand job over there in the corner behind the bleachers. It's like, all right, man. Sometimes maybe just tone it down on the honesty. Look, I could tell you that admitting this is a bad thing. I could tell you that Coach O is an idiot, and I could scream and yell and say, this is why LSU will fire Coach O next season. But one, I think he's talking, he didn't say last year, he said previous coaching staff. So I think he's talking about Matt Canada, which, by the way, we already knew that he didn't interview him in the past. But if he's referring to Bo Pelini, which I would assume that's what he's referring to, because he's talking about everyone he interviewed for this coaching staff, then yeah, he deserved to get his ass kicked last year by going 5-5. That's all on him. And he also did say that Durante Jones was his fourth or fifth choice.
Durante was like the fourth or fifth choice. Well, so was I. Who cares? He's here. He's doing a tremendous job.
Yeah, but I don't think that's big of a deal because we already knew he was being hired as a fourth or fifth choice before it even happened. Durante Jones even knew that. Everyone knew that they missed out on the guy from Cincinnati whose name I'm now blanking on, or they missed out on the defensive line coach from the Saints. But look, the national media is going to have a field day with this shit because they don't do their research and they're thinking he's throwing his coaches under the bus. But look, whatever. I don't. There's only so much, unless he says something like totally obscure or racist or sexist or says the earth is flat or some shit. I mean, I don't care what he does at a press conference. I really don't. And lastly, yeah, like if you didn't interview guys like Bo Pelini or Matt Canada, and you didn't interview other people for the job, then yeah, that's your problem, and you deserve everything that came to you in those seasons. But Jesus Christ. I mean, I got interviewed for every job I've had. I got interviewed to make pizzas one summer after high school. I won't say which pizza place that is, but I got interviewed to do that, and my only job was to sprinkle, processed cheese and processed meat and shit all over the place. That's really the only thing I had to do, and I got interviewed for that. I didn't have to call a defense. I didn't have to defend a national championship. But I will say one thing Coach O has learned to censor himself on.
Be hands-on. I'm watching every piece of film. I'm marking it down just like I did in the years before. They're going to have to explain to me what are we doing? I almost cussed there. What are we doing?
Well, at least he didn't curse, because that might have gone viral on the internet.
I almost cussed there.
Well, whatever. Y'all go have fun with this. Truth shall set you free. Thanks for listening to Out of My League. If you like what you heard, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook in the description link below.